Hi everyone, Gene here. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, where every single week we answer the most common and uncommon questions about tapping and EFT so you can get the most out of your daily practice and eliminate self-sabotage so that you can consistently take action every single day. If you have not done so already, we have a free 10-part guide to help you to eliminate self-sabotage using tapping. There's audios, there's videos, there's instructions, there's printable tapping scripts. All you need to do is go to tappingqa.com, click on the big blue button. If you happen to be on the website right now, up in the upper right-hand corner, in the right-hand column, you'll see a big blue button so you can start receiving that free guide right away. This is Gene Monterostelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 354, originally aired March 13th, 2019. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And again, a very special welcome to all of those who found their way recently to the podcast. We always appreciate new listeners. Thanks for spending a little time with us today. Today, we're going to spend some time talking about and tapping about, because I actually have 3 rounds of tapping that we're going to do around the idea that transformation always has to be a process. And there are multiple times where I am in client sessions and I'm working with someone, and even if we're on the phone, we're not even Zooming or Skyping with each other where we have a video connection. And I start talking about the fact that, this is a process, we need to work through it, and we need to take baby steps. I can hear them rolling their eyes. I can hear my clients rolling their eyes on the other side of the phone because they're rolling them so big. And I appreciate this. This is no shade at being frustrated by the fact that tapping is a process and healing and transformation is a process. It is good that we want our transformation to happen because there's a part of us that wants better. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at this through 3 lenses that is going to help you to be in a space where you're a little more comfortable with that process. And more importantly, you're actually going to put yourself in a position where transformation will continue to happen. Before we do that, I just wanted to send out a number of thank yous. As you know, we've been thanking people from all over the world who have been listening and sharing the Tapping Q&A podcast. This week, I would like to thank the folks in Israel, India, Brazil, Sweden, Ireland, Italy. We're working our way through every single country since the first of the year who have been listening to the show. And so if you're in one of those 6 countries, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to listen to the show and your support. Also, I'd like to thank a number of new people who've chosen to financially support the podcast. That's Cheryl, Diana, Jeffrey, Stephen, and Maryland. We had a bunch more join on as we did our 10th anniversary celebration, and I'm going to be thanking all of those people by name. Those people who are now supporting the podcast receive a number of amazing extra bonuses, including bonus podcasts, interviews, extras from the guests that we have on the show, as well as access to some tapping scripts and things like that. If you too would like to get a shout out on the show, but more importantly, support the podcast so it can continue to grow, we have a new mission. Our goal is to add 3,000 new tappers this year. Because if we had 3,000 new tappers this year, the world is going to be a healthier place. We'll talk about that a lot more later. Again, tappingqa.com/support if you'd like to receive that bonus content and if you'd like to support the podcast as well. Now, a moment ago, I said it's okay and it's actually good that you are feeling frustrated about this being a process. It's good because it means that there's a part of you that wants healing and transformation to happen faster. The problem is, if we allow that frustration to fester, if we allow that frustration to go where we're disappointed at the rate in which we are healing, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start creating a natural resistance to doing the work. Because subconsciously, you do not want to waste time and effort on something that isn't going to bear fruit. And if you think something is going too slowly, then you're going to decide, consciously or subconsciously, that it is just not worth it to continue. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're in a position that we can understand the healing process reasonably without having too much emotion associated. So we're going to approach this 3 different ways. The first way is around that sense of frustration. The second is tapping on a little bit about being able to ingest, imprint, and understand why tapping has to be a process. And then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little tapping that's going to open our way to being in a position to allow the healing to actually happen faster. And for me, this first part, tapping on the frustration about the fact that it's happening too slowly, oftentimes the emotion about the circumstance is more important for us to deal with than the circumstance itself. Because if we're feeling emotional about something that we're dealing with, then it's going to be difficult for us to release and move forward. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about the healing process. I want you to think about how slow the healing process feels. I want you to think about the time and energy and effort that you've put into the healing process, and to recognize the results that you haven't had yet. And I know that it seems a little mean for me to say, hey, think of the stuff that you're being unsuccessful with. But the truth of the matter is, the emotions that are coming up as we are tuning into this already exist. And like I said, they're slowly building resistance to you doing the work that's going to make your life better, be it tapping or anything else. So by us being conscious and truly tuning into this, it's going to allow us to be in a position where we can really approach it. So again, find that way to that frustration. Take a nice big deep breath for me. And I want you to just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I'm frustrated by the rate of healing. I wish it was happening faster. I wish it was happening easier. And I recognize the fact that when I feel this sort of resistance, and I feel this sort of resentment towards the healing process, I am going to slow the healing process. Because I don't want to be wasting time, and I don't want to be wasting energy on something that isn't going to work out. On something that isn't going to be fruitful. But at the exact same time, I appreciate the frustration. Not because I enjoy being frustrated, but because the frustration means that there is a part of me that wants healing and transformation to happen. Frustration is just my system saying it is dissatisfied with what is going on. I hear the frustration loud and clear. I know it wants me to be healthy. The frustration has done its job by pointing out the slow rate of this transformation. Since I know this is true, the frustration can relax. At any point in the future that the frustration needs to come back, it is allowed to come back. I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with the frustration, knowing it is possible for me to heal. Nice deep breath. When I am faced with trying to deal with a problem like this, it's really good for us to take the edge off that particular space, to clear the frustration away. So the second step in being able to make it easier for us to keep moving forward when we're dealing with the fact that transformation is always a process is recognizing why it is a process. And this isn't creating a false justification so that we're appeasing ourselves so we don't need to move forward any quicker. But instead, this is putting us in a position where we can tap in such a way that we move forward where it is gentle and easy as we try and navigate all of this. Second round of tapping, that's going to make it easier for us to deal with this. Take a nice big deep breath. Another nice big deep breath. And just repeat after me. Intellectually, I understand that transformation is a process. I understand that sometimes it doesn't happen in a single step. That is because some of my issues are more complicated. Some of my issues have multiple layers to them. Sometimes my goal, tapping in the moment, is to create relief in the moment. Tapping is a really good tool for doing exactly that. And other times I want to be in a situation where I'm creating lasting, deep change. It's more than just the symptoms in the moment. I'm not looking for quick relief. I'm looking for long-term transformation. I give myself permission to be patient with the process. As much as I would like this to be quick, it is more important that it is long-term and lasting. I give myself permission to be easy with the process. I give myself permission to allow this to take time. Because I am in this for the long haul. I am in this for long-term lasting transformation. I am open to the possibility of instantaneous healing. And I'm willing to put in the work to get the lasting transformation, even if it is not instantaneous. Nice big deep breath. The third thing we can do, now that we've cleared the space of frustration, now that we've acknowledged what we want to do, is to create the specific space for long-term healing and making sure that we feel safe in doing that. Because we don't want our system and our subconscious mind resisting bringing forward the things that could be useful in this transformation process. So again, take a nice big deep breath for me. And just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I give myself permission to heal. I give myself permission to transform. By giving myself permission to heal and transform, I am acknowledging that some of this work might be hard. But I recognize the fact that I can do hard work in a way that is safe and healthy for me. I give myself permission to put in the time and effort. By investing in the short term in this way, I am ensuring in the long term that the transformation will be lasting and deep. My goal is lasting and deep transformation. I trust my system to create the process that will allow this healing to persist, to allow this transformation to take root, to be in a place where all of this happens in a safe and healthy fashion. I am a healing machine, and I allow my system to keep healing. Nice deep breath. So it's pretty straightforward, moving through those 3 stages. And I would encourage you from time to time when you sit down to tap to work through these 3 stages. You can use the tap alongs and the scripts that were provided for this week, or you can just take these concepts and do it inside of your own words. But I've found that when I take just a few moments to clear the decks the way that we have here, to remove the resistance to transformation, to remove the fear of it's lasting or not, it's going to put us into a situation where the actual work we do in the session is going to position us to move forward in a really natural, healthy, long-term, lasting way. If you enjoyed the tapping today, could you do me a favor? Could you let someone know about it? As I mentioned at the top of the show, I kind of created a new mission for myself. The idea is if we can add 9 new people to tapping regularly every single day over the course of the year, we're going to add 3,000 new people doing transformational work. And 3,000 might not sound like a really big number if you're thinking of terms of like numbers you see on the internet about downloads and stuff like that. But what I want you to do is I want you to think about a theater that has 3,000 seats in it. Like on Broadway here in New York City, there are none of the theaters that have 3,000 seats in them. 3,000 people, that's a huge number of people. And if 3,000 people are transforming their lives and tapping regularly, the rippling effects that are going to go out through our world are going to be huge. And so I'm going to ask you to find a person or 2 in your life. Share this tapping with them. Share the good news of tapping. Show them the amazing resources at tappingpodcast.com with all of the past episodes, to put yourself in a position where you can really have a chance to help that transformation to happen. Because finding 9 new people a day, if all of us are working together, that's a really easy thing to do. So I'd really appreciate you continue to pass this work along in that way. If you have a question or a comment, I always love hearing from people just like you. If there's something specific that struck you today in today's podcast, please let me know about it. You can email me directly, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. There's a contact link on the form. If you tag me on social media and hashtag it 9a-day, the number 9a-day, I'll definitely see it as we continue to spread the good news of tapping to the world. If you'd like to see printed versions of this script, you can find them at tappingpodcast.com. Click on the link for episode 354. If you're listening in the website, it's down below the player. If you've downloaded the app, just click on the tech section of the app and you will see this tapping script as well as loads of other free tapping scripts waiting there for you. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, you can find it in both the iTunes and Android app stores, absolutely free of charge. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli, Tapping Q&A 2016. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli or Tapping Q&A.